It's actually pretty easy. When I was working as a book doctor and ghostwriter for those 20 years, that's a lot of what I did, working with other people. And it's very similar to cooking a large meal, with somebody in the kitchen, multiple cooks in the kitchen. You can all kind of work on the same thing and trip over each other, or you figure out, well, you're going to do this, I'm going to do this, and you do this, and you do that, and you delegate. So when I work with a co-author, we try to figure out, everybody's strengths, figure out what they're good at and what they're not good at, and we divide up the workload. With Jim, it was particularly tricky because, I mentioned earlier that I don't use an outline. He always uses an outline. So when we first sat down, we had lunch down in Florida and we were talking about doing something together. That was kind of a sticking point because I don't like working with outlines, and I told him that. And he had never done a book without one. So we finished up that lunch and, kind of went our separate ways. I didn't think anything was going to come of it. But then we ended up talking again, and he said, you know what, I think I'll try it. Let's try to write one without an outline. So we did that. He came up with the idea for the book, the main premise of it. And then we just went back and forth, chapter by chapter. And we had a lot of fun with it because we would paint each other into a corner. There's a lot of twists in that book, and that was because we were trying to trip each other up. He would write something, and make it seem, something impossible to get out of. And then he would hand the book off to me, and I would have to try and figure out how to solve the problem he just created. So then I would try to create an even more difficult scenario, and then I would give it back to him. And we wrote the whole book that way, and we had a ball. But when we finished that one, he said, okay, we did it your way. Now let's try it my way. And he wrote the outline for The Noise and gave me that. And, that's the first book I've ever written with an outline. And I'm really proud of it. I think you're in for a treat when that one comes out. It's the scariest book he's ever been involved with, for sure.